Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell at before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, good thing to say, I dabbled in stand-up or something. I have any disrespect for you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean.
Welcome to a very special later night episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. You can listen to this show on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Rumble, Rockfin, all of the places. I just rushed in. I rushed back home. I'm so excited to talk to this guy again. This is really like a continuing story. This is like a follow-up episode because I just had this guy on pretty recently, but things have escalated. And I'm so excited he's here with me tonight. Before I bring him in, I got to mention a couple of comedy shows. I'm very excited that this weekend I will be going to exotic Minnesota. I'll be headlining the Great River Bowl and Partners Pub in Sartell, Minnesota this Saturday, October 21st. Nice early, manageable 7:30 show. Lila Hart, the hilarious, the adorable Lila Hart, will be featuring for me at the show. Plus, Nick Rekieta is doing stand-up. You heard me correctly. Nick Rekieta is doing stand-up. He's been running some of his jokes by me. I'm very excited. This is going to be a blast. So get your tickets now. This show will probably sell out because this is might be a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Then I'm back on Long Island headlining in Belmore at the Brokerage Comedy Club the next weekend, October 27th and 28th. So if you're a strong Islander, get your tickets for those shows now. Then I'm back in Florida Sunday, December 3rd, headlining the Side Splitters Comedy Club out in Tampa. Then back in San Diego the first weekend of the new year, 2024. I'll be headlining the Mic Drop Comedy Club January 5th and 6th. 3 shows that weekend. Get your tickets on my website, chrissiemayr.com. Oh, look, I forgot to show the website. There it is. There's all the shows. chrissiemayr.com. Check it out. Faux tickets. Woo! Okay. I already see so many turtle emojis in the chat. This man almost needs no introduction. You're already quite familiar. He has been very closely following a very interesting case. He's been referred to as Journalism Jesus. He's the senior editor for Turtle Boy Daily News, an award-winning journalist. He's an investigative journalist who is currently covering a very, very spicy case involving one Karen Reed out in Massachusetts, where essentially she's being framed for murder. But so much has happened since the last time I've had him on. So without further ado, Mr. Aidan Kearney, welcome to the show. Welcome.
What's
back.
happening? How you doing, Chrissy? Thanks for having me.
Daddy, Turtle Boy, so many nicknames.
And it's going to be in the mugshot. They asked me that when I took my mugshot, and they're like, do you have any nicknames? I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go. Let's name them all.
You're very cool, calm, and collected for someone who was recently arrested in front of their children.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if I'm still not convinced what they saw. They're kind of being weird about it, but their friends definitely saw something because they were saying something to him. So we just don't bring it up. But honestly, for when I was arrested, I was expecting it eventually. I thought there was a chance it would happen. I've kind of predicted it. I didn't think they'd have the balls to do it. And I certainly didn't think they would send the fugitive unit to my house and 6 unmarked cars and get a warrant for the house and all this stuff.
We're going to rewind a little bit because for anyone who is not familiar with Aidan, yeah, you're covering this case involving Karen Reed out in, is it Boston?
Close. It's a Boston suburb called Canton.
And she's all signs point to she's clearly being framed for the murder of her boyfriend. And this happened, what, like 1 or 2 years ago or something
About a
like
year and
that?
a half ago, yeah.
Year and a half ago.
Almost.
And you are almost like one of the only, if the only, journalist really doing deep dives into this and uncovering the truth. And you know, you had this feeling. Did you have a feeling that they would come after you? That
Oh, yeah.
because these guys are so corrupt. And what was your first indication that you were, I don't know, being watched or that? I mean, how did we get from you covering this story, being outspoken about it, showing up with signs to her court dates and such, to you being arrested?
Yeah, so I knew they were pushing for this angle when I read their interview that they did with the plow driver, Lucky Loughran, about 2 months ago. And I read the interview about a month ago. And during the interview, he gives them a lot of like crazy information, like really interesting stuff, like that there's a Ford Edge parked a couple feet from where the body was discovered, like 2 hours before the body was discovered. Like stuff that like a real cop, when they hear that, would be like, well, let's find out who was driving that Ford Edge. You might want to look into that. But instead of pursuing that at all, their entire line of questioning was about me. Like, okay, did he record it? How did he remember everything you said? Like, did he tape it? Did he tell you? Because Massachusetts is a 2-party consent state, so you need.
Oh,
And they were like
so
really
annoying.
pursuing this wiretapping angle thing. And I knew then it's like, oh, these guys want to bag me. These guys want to shut me up. But I was just thinking like, nah, they don't have the balls to do that. I mean, that looks so bad. How bad does that look? They're just going to make me a million times bigger if they do that. But then they showed up at my house and I'm like, oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're actually doing this. Okay. So I was somewhat prepared for it. And I got to be honest with you. Like, you would think that after being arrested, you'd be like, oh, fuck, like I wasn't even the least bit phased. Like the whole way down,
Wow.
I had an hour and a half drive to the courthouse and I could see my reflection in the plexiglass. Whole time I was just working on my courthouse stare. I'm just like, okay, I need to look badass in court. I need to just walk in confident. I knew every douchebag was going to be there. And I just need to walk in here with swagger and just let them hang my head high. I had my perp walk ready. I knew my perp walk was going to be about 10, 15 seconds. I knew exactly what I was going to yell out.
You had been practicing in front of a mirror.
Oh yeah, I was ready to go. I mean, I've been working on my
like America's Next Top Model.
Yeah, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And I had these guys in my house too, like the same guys that I've been writing about were in my house. Like I'm in cuffs in my kitchen and these guys are in my kitchen. And I said to Lieutenant Tully, the guy who's kind of running all this, I'm just like, enjoy your victory. This is all you're going to get. It's all downhill from here. Like this is it. This is the highlight of what you're going to get from me. I'm like, just understand that I'm not going to stop. I hope you enjoy your little win here today. That's all you're getting.
I'm amazed that you can like be so confident and strong in the face of of all of that. Like all these guys that you have been following, that you've been calling out for months. They're corrupt and full of shit, and
It's a sign of weakness. It's just like you're showing your hand. You're like, you want to shut me up that bad. That's what this is all about, is they just want to shut me up and get me to stop talking about the people. I mean, I'm being charged with 8 counts of witness intimidation. And the witnesses that I'm intimidating are the people that I've been writing about and making accusations about. And they don't like that. And so they've charged me with this, and they've put a stay away order in existence. So I can no longer interview these people, question them.
Who do they think you're harassing? The snowplow guy?
No, it's like I don't even know if I could say their names, but people follow. Yeah. I don't even know.
I'm not trying to blow your shit up.
Yeah.
Okay, so they think you're intimidating witnesses by just doing your job as a journalist and trying to gather information.
Yeah, I mean, I just have questions. I'm just like, why did you Google how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m.? I'm just curious. That's all I want to know. Is like, I mean, it's a strange thing to Google. So I question these people when they go out in public, and people have said that, like I question one of them at their kids' lacrosse game, but I'm like, where would you rather I go to your church? Like where else am I supposed to? They don't go to church. They're all going to hell. Where am I supposed to
question them their satanic temple.
I
Wherever
don't
that is.
know. Would you rather I show up at your Zumba class? I don't know. How am I supposed to ask you these questions? I'm just looking for answers. I'm trying to solve a mystery here, trying to do the job the police won't do.
Maybe
And
one of their secret grinder meetups.
no comment. No comment. Well, it's like, and for the time being, you know, my First Amendment rights are severely violated. I've been contacted. I'm working now with a nonprofit in New York that is looking to file a heavy civil lawsuit against the institutions that did this. I mean, this is a major civil rights violation.
When
I'm
did
not
this
the least-
happen?
When did this happen? Wednesday, October 11th at 8:30.
Wednesday, 8:30 in the morning. What were you doing? Like, walk us through it.
So
For those of us who've never been arrested, this is a little exciting.
No, it is. So I go down. My kid's bus stop is like across the street, and you know they're 6 and 8, and they get on the bus, and so they must have been watching me the whole time because like they would like they cross the street to get on the bus, and then I cross back to go up the driveway. And as soon as I try to go up the driveway, all of a sudden this Silverado starts kind of inching towards me, and I'm like, whoa, pal, like relax. The school bus is relax. I thought, you know, take it easy. It's a school bus. And then some guy gets out of the car, out of the truck.
So the Silverado was behind the school bus?
It was behind. 3 cars were behind the school bus. They were all unmarked state troopers. And it was the fugitive unit guy. The next truck was Lieutenant Tully, the guy who's kind of spearheading this. And the next one was another lieutenant who I've written about. And it was all the assholes I've been writing about. And they get out, and the fugitive unit guy, like fugitive unit. I mean, like I killed someone, or you know, you can summons me. Like you don't get.
You don't wear a shirt with a cartoon turtle on it. How big of a threat are you?
I just dropped the kids off at the bus. Like, what are you talking? Like, I'm some hardened criminal. Like, relax, guy. Relax. You know, but they know that. They know I'm not violent. They know I'm not a threat. They just want to humiliate me. They thought that they could come into my house, more like degrade me, beat me down, and I'd be like, oh man, this got real. I'm gonna quit now. I think they know now that like I'm not that guy. I'm the other guy. I'm not the least bit scared of you jerk offs.
These cars are lined up behind the school bus. You're walking your kids to the bus, and then as you walk away from the bus, you see people get out of the car. Like, do they approach you on the street? Do they follow?
Yeah, they
you back
approach
to
me
your
in
house?
my driveway. I'm about to start walking up my driveway, and I'm like, oh yeah, can I help you? Because sometimes people drive by my house and they're like, hey, turtle boy. I get that. Sometimes that happens. Friendly people. This guy gets out and he's just like, hands behind your back. You're under arrest. I'm like, what? And it just like, next thing you know, I'm handcuffed. And it was like at that moment, I realized I can't get to my phone. Like my phone is like my savior, because I can video record you. I can post on Facebook. I'm being arrested. And that was by design. There's a reason they didn't knock on my door. They knock on my door. I can start deleting things. I can start making a Facebook post. I can go live. I can do a lot of things. Let people know. They wanted to do this so that I couldn't alert my followers to get down to Stoughton District Courthouse to be there for me, which is why, you know, when I walked into the courthouse, it was not a friendly audience. There was a lot of these stares from people, you know, from the, you know, victims. They're very victimized. I don't want to increase their trauma. But a couple of these victims, 2 of them actually, applied for harassment prevention orders against me and were denied in this very same courtroom by the very same judge on First Amendment grounds. So like,
why did they do that? Do you think someone convinced them to submit these orders against you? I can't imagine.
No, they were denied them. They didn't get. Oh, they're just sick of me, right? Like the one woman went in front of the judge and said to the judge specifically, "Is there anything you can do to get him to stop blogging about me?" And we made T-shirts, and the answer the judge gave is no. There's not. It's called the First Amendment. These people are just not used to being challenged. And here I come along, and I'm not afraid of them or scared of them, and I won't be bullied by them.
These are people that are complicit in this whole scheme. They're like,
most of them were inside this house behind me.
Yeah,
a lot of them were inside that house behind me. Others were not. But like for instance,
they don't like being called out. They don't like
the wife of a state trooper somehow is on this list. She was not in the house. I don't know what her relation is with this whole thing, but somehow she's a witness now. You can't say things about a trooper's wife, I guess now. And by the way, this wife also contacted people's workplaces, like multiple Turtle Riders workplaces, if they left negative comments about her husband and tried to get them fired. And when Turtle Riders went and did the same, and I did the same, all of a sudden it's witness intimidation. I mean, this is a protected class of people, but
Wow.
they're outnumbered. Like when I was standing up there in the box, like a boss in shackles, like I had to be shackled, like my legs, like I'm like gonna go and
Your
run out of there at
legs
any second.
too?
What?
Your legs too?
Oh, the legs. They had the legs. I had to like walk
How
up the stairs one at a
dramatic.
time. Oh, it was cool. And so, I walk up there with this whole thing, and I got one officer holding one arm. It's like I'm badass. Like you guys made me look cool. I look really cool. Like you're standing up here and like, oh no, is he gonna escape? Is he gonna like go crazy? That guy must be like, oh, he's a killer, that guy.
He's gonna
No,
go write an article.
yeah, I know. Like literally the charging documents. I did a story about it today. I kind of broke down the charging documents. 90% of it is shit I said on my YouTube show, like out of context quotes, like that. They completely misrepresented what they actually meant. And it's just like, this is what you have. This is why I'm not the least bit worried about this. I'm going to beat these charges. I'm going to raise my profile as a result of doing so. You Google my name now, all this stuff comes up. The New York Post wrote about it today. Every major media outlet in Boston has written about it today. It's like, I just want to thank them. I'm going to write them a big thank you card at the end of this.
Yeah, I love the New York Post. Pretty soon, maybe the Daily Mail will find word. Then you've really hit the big time. So you're getting arrested. You're like, fuck, I don't have my phone. You probably haven't had your coffee yet, which to me is almost worse.
I did. I had my coffee. I was holding my mug, actually. Yeah, so that's important.
So, is there anyone else in your house? Did anyone know this was happening? Did they immediately just chuck you in the car and take you away?
No, they'd been watching me for a few days. The warrant was signed 5 days earlier, and I think that they were watching me for a couple days to learn the routine. Like, what time does the bus get there? So they could, where do we line up so not to get noticed, so we look like we're behind the school bus. And 3 came from the other direction. And next thing you know, my driveway's filled with all these douchebags drive Silverados. They're filling my driveway, and it's just like they're getting out, and it's like, oh, that guy Bukaki's here. That's what I call the sergeant, who's one of the lead detectives on this. He gets out. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's here. Oh, it's just like, enjoy your victory, boys. This is all you're getting from me.
Every time I'm driving and there's someone on the road with road rage, it is 9 times out of 10 a Silverado, and I can't explain why. If there's someone up my ass, angry, giving the finger for some reason, it's a Silverado. I can't explain it. It's just science.
But I do kind of have like I don't like being in my house now. Like I know they're going to arrest me again. I have no doubt they're going to arrest me again because there's one other person they didn't get me on. The homeowner lives in a different town now, and we did this rolling rally in Canton. We started in a town called Norwood, which is next door, and we went to this guy's. He moved to Norwood, so we went to his place first. We went to each home and peacefully protested on the street. It was like women and children and grandmothers and shit, like the most nonviolent thing possible. Middle of the day, no one told us to stop. We didn't see any cops. Like, we're all peaceful, and the difference is that Canton is in a different district court area than Norwood. So I'm like, when I'm looking at the list of all the people I'm charged with, I'm like, what about this other guy, Brian Albert? He's not on the list. We went to his house too. They go, we're investigating that. That makes me think that they're going to do this twice. So they're ready to investigate me. I'm sure they're ready to arrest me again. So I'm just constantly looking out. I'm like, are they going to do it in front of my kids again? These people have no shame. They're animals.
Wow. Okay, so how were you able to alert anyone? Did anyone know that you were? So you immediately went to jail or to?
So we went to there's a state police barracks in my town, and so they brought me there, and they're like, "Who do you call?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess I call my mom." And I'm like, "But wait a minute, I don't know my mom's phone number. I don't know anyone's phone number."
Some son you are. Yeah, I literally just know my husband's phone number and nobody else's.
Yeah, like I don't know any, you don't even think, you just plug it in and you just forget it. And so I'm like, to get into the phone, I had to give them my passcode. If I didn't have somebody, now you get, they were going to get in anyway. I mean, they have the technology to get in anyway. So I had to call her, and my dad came down to the courthouse and he got me out of there. There was no bail or anything. I guess I could have just walked, but I needed a ride home. So that, and my people were there waiting for me. Like they obviously leaked this to the press. There was, some detractors there, but mostly supporters for me. The media was all there. I get out of the car, the squad car. They bring me out, and I start yelling things about the Ford Edge. I'm like, "Did you guys find out who's driving that Ford Edge yet? We really need to find out who's driving that Ford Edge." They bring me in there. I was in jail for like the holding cell for like an hour and a half. I made like, there was this guy, he was a rapper. He was my cellmate.
Ooh, did he give you a mixtape?
He thought I was cool. Like, he's just like, who is this white boy?
That's a big deal.
Who kind of came in here and if he fucking kept rapping, I was going to go insane. I'm like, you got to stop.
Very good.
Oh, it was so bad. Oh, I can't get it out of my head. But he thought, he was just like amazed. Like, probably most of the people.
What was his rapper name? Lil Handcuffs?
I don't know, but all I know is I got in after him and out before him. And like, they were like, he was just blown away by like, wait a minute, there's an entourage here. There's like media here. Who the fuck am I?
Wow.
Who is this guy in this jail cell with me right now? So we had fun. And then they brought me upstairs and I wasn't nervous. I'm like, this is cool. This is fun. Let's go. I can't wait for the pictures of this. This is going to do a lot for my profile. Let's go.
Okay. Wow. So you were only in for like an hour or so.
It was about 2 hours total when you factor in the hearing and everything too. And then I gave a press conference on the courthouse steps afterwards, which was electric. And one reporter from a TV channel tried getting smart with me. I got a little Trumpian with him. He asked me, is it true you made $5 million off of this? Because that's what the prosecutor said. He's made
what?
Yeah, the prosecutor said he's made $5 million off of this. Like, 5 million? Like Dr. Evil? Like, what, 5 million? And so he goes, is it true you made 5 million? I go, what a stupid question. You get one question to ask me, and that's your question. What a dumb question. He goes, well, how much have you made? It's like, how much have you made? I'm like, you tell me.
Wow.
You're here at the court. You're getting paid to be here too, aren't you? We're all getting paid. So what do you care how much money I'm making? What kind of man asking another man?
That's your motivation. Like that's why you do this. Sure.
Exactly. I'm just not I don't write stories like this for a living. I haven't been doing this for 10 years. Jeez Louise. Media's a joke. But yeah, it was fun.
Oh my gosh. This is just like, you have the best attitude about this whole thing. And so there's is there any video of this happening? Did the cops take video when this?
They said they have body cams, so I can't wait to get those body cams of me talking to Tully in my house. I have to get that because I said, look, man, I'm not streaming this right now. I'm not doing this for show. I'm taking you down. Just know that, pal. Like, let's go. I hope enjoy your victory. That's what I told them.
So they arrested you for intimidating witnesses or something like that, and then they just released you 2 hours later.
Yeah, 8 felony counts of intimidating witnesses. Each count is 2.5 years in jail. If they indict me to superior court, it would increase to 10. So I'm facing 80 years. I mean, it's life in prison, but I'm not getting convicted because I think to the statute with witness intimidation is you have to threaten a witness, right? And you have to do so with the intent of interfering with the judicial or criminal proceeding. I'm doing the opposite of that. I'm going up to these people. I'm asking them to participate. I'm like, can you tell me why you Googled? I'm not trying to shut you up. I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to get you talking. I'm interested in why you did these things. So good luck proving that.
Wow. Okay. And you have, I assume, lawyers helping you.
I do. And I'm sure the state police are sitting there watching this, waiting for me to say the wrong thing right now, but I'm not gonna. So good luck, boys.
Hello, state police. Before you make another move or take another note down, follow me on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, state police, make an account. Follow me on Twitter. If you're not, follow me on YouTube. Follow my wiki feed. Do whatever. Do whatever you need to do. But don't just be here not following me.
Yeah.
That would be very untoward. Holy shit. Okay. So what's the next step?
So I have to hire, go with a legal team. I'm talking to a lot of attorneys right now. There's a lot to weigh. You know what the thing about attorneys is, a lot of them are busy, quite frankly. And this is it's a caseload to take this on. And like, for instance, if you have like a trial coming up this week, a lot of people just have trials and they're just like, they're busy that week. It's like, I need action now. I need action quick. But you also don't want to rush into it and get the wrong lawyer just because you need someone. So, I spend my days reviewing the facts of the case and talking to attorneys and trying to find the right fit so I will have an official attorney, hopefully in a day or two. But until then, it's just, here we are.
Yeah, you're in the right. They're not really going to get you on anything. And the reason why your mentioning of the Ford Edge is so important because that is a car that was parked outside of this house. That's Aiden's background. It was parked there for a while, and that is what they used to hide the body of Karen Reed's boyfriend. So
Right.
that's why
So
that's a big missing piece.
yeah, the plow and the plow driver who they did not speak with for 18 months, I had to track him down and find him. They claimed that the road was never plowed, but then I found out it was. And I found the plow driver and he told me everything. He's like, "So you plowed the road?" "Yeah." "What time did you go by?" 2:30. "Okay, was John O'Keefe's body or any body on the front lawn?" "No." "Well, is there a chance you missed it? Would you have seen it?" He goes, "Oh, I definitely would have seen a body there.
You
I
would
have like
remember that.
I have huge lights. I go
Mhm.
slow. It's right near a fire hydrant. Like I would have seen it, of course." And so he goes, "I went to do a second sweep at 3 o'clock, and I couldn't. And I remember why, because there was a Ford Edge parked there. And so I'm like, I'll come back later." And the car stayed there for a short amount of time. And 3 hours later, Karen Reed shows up looking for John O'Keefe, and boom, a body is there. So no body, then a Ford Edge, and then a body. So whoever was driving that Ford Edge either was involved in murdering him or has information. And keep in mind, this is a cop who was killed. So, like, when a cop gets killed, it gets a little extra attention from the cops. Like, they don't mess around. It's kind of all points bulletin. Like, if this was handled properly, if they were actually trying to solve his murder, there would be an all points bulletin out for whoever was driving that Ford Edge. But instead, what are they using their resources on? They're watching my YouTube clips of my greatest hits and assembling them in a charging document and misrepresenting the things I say. It is a freaking joke. This is a clown show. These are not real cops. They're fake. They're weak, insecure, beta males with badges and guns. That's all they are. And I see right through them. And that's why they hate me.
Sounds like small PP energy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm never going to get their follow. So what did your sort of family think of this? Or like, yeah, I mean,
Oh, they're pissed.
They're
My mom and dad are like, they're elderly. They're pissed. They're like, they don't get fired up about a lot of stuff. They're pissed. They're just like, are you kidding me right now? And like, they back me 100%. Like at other times they've been like, can you tone it down a little, the language on your show, stuff like that. This, they are fully in my corner with, because this is just quite, and the public support with this. I mean, 99% of the public is with me on this one too. Even conservatives, liberals, like everybody is. This is an apolitical story, and like I'm literally just being arrested for investigating a murder that's being covered up, and I'm being charged with it. And so it's like, I'm kind of like a little Snowden-y, I guess.
You're an independent journalist, and you can understand why the establishment loves their own kind of journalists that they keep in their pen, that they can tell what to do and what not to do, what questions to ask and not ask, and they're sort of given a script. And no one can control you. So I can see how one would try intimidation to see if that would have some effect, but that doesn't change the fact that certain huge pieces of evidence are missing and not being pursued, and all you're doing is simply pointing them out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a crime. I'm trying to ask these people questions, and I guess they don't like them. And if you saw these charging documents, some of these quotes in there, one of the quotes they're charging me for was, I said that I hope the Karen Reed case doesn't go to trial. I don't want the Karen Reed case to go to trial. It's like, yeah, I don't. You can't say that in a free country. You can't say that. Like, I think she's wrongly charged, and I think a trial would be a travesty, having to put her family through that. I think the charges should be dropped. Sorry. I guess I should go to jail for 10 years because I have an opinion that the state police don't approve of. God forbid. God forbid.
And if there were no merit to the things you were saying, if you were just like some nobody, why would they spend so much attention on you? Why would they acknowledge you at all? Why would they even take the time to do the intimidate you and show up at your house and arrest you? And so it's like they're kind of showing you that you're clearly onto something.
Yeah, I mean, if I had 10 followers on Twitter and on YouTube, and I was saying the same exact things that I'm saying now, they wouldn't bother. But it's the fact that I have a large audience and I'm affecting public opinion. that they're coming after me. They're claiming that I'm tainting a jury pool. We've raised so much money for the Karen Reed Legal Defense Fund that we put a billboard out right outside the Patriots Stadium in Foxborough, another one on 2 more ones on the highway. And so they're everywhere. People are going over highway overpasses every day, holding free Karen Reed standouts. And they don't like that because we've made it very clear. We are trying to educate the public on this, not, taint the jury pool, as they call it. We are trying to educate the public about what is happening here. That is not a crime. That is not witness intimidation as they're claiming it is. And there was a court TV segment about me tonight. All the experts agreed that, this is ridiculous. I mean, these people are morons. So bring it on. Let's dance. I cannot wait. I can't wait.
Why would we want to taint the
It's like taint the jury.
The jury with the truth and facts. Like, ugh, how pesky.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means. Like, how do you taint a jury pool? Like, if I was lying, I guess that'd be one thing.
That's kind of giving no credit to the jury. Everyone there's got their own mind and is a free thinker and it can make up, sort out the facts as they wish. And isn't that why we have juries to get?
Like, how did Derek Chauvin get convicted? Like, how do you have a high profile case and the jury doesn't know about it? Like, how do you find it? It's impossible. You can't do it.
Yeah. This is a good comment from Mark. Biggest take: these witnesses are providing evidence. This is not how innocent people act.
Yeah. I mean, they don't run and try to silence you. And traditionally, witnesses are happy to talk. They're happy to because they have nothing to hide.
Right.
It's weird in this case.
People want to help,
Right. The defendant is doing all the talking here. The person who should be quiet isn't quiet. And the people who have no reason to be quiet are just don't want to say anything. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want to be the ones to manipulate the jury, and they don't want you. I mean, in their mind, they think you're manipulating the jury, but really you're just informing them. You're doing what should be their job. You're just trying to fill in some holes that someone who wants to be informed on this case would ask questions about. Yeah.
And we hand out cards with QR codes on them to this video that we did called Framed on our YouTube channel. And we would just hand them out to everybody. Read about this. If you don't know about it, read about it. There's a QR code on the billboard for people, that drive by to follow it. And so we are just trying to educate the public about it. And what they're trying to do is criminalize speech. This is so dangerous and so antithetical to what it means to be an American, is that we can't talk freely about things because 10 people in Canton don't like it and the state police don't like it because they're trying to cover it up and we can't talk about that. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So, I'm not the least bit worried about it. We're going to win.
It's a good comment too. It's not like they started coming after every YouTuber that was commenting on the Depp Heard trial. That's where we heard similarly people asking, kind of like the mainstream folks asking YouTubers, how much money did you make? Oh, they made X amount of money. And it's just a symptom of the mainstream machine losing a grip on the attention of the public and losing their influence. And independent folks like yourself are truly taking over. And money is very much a secondary thing because you're passionate about what you do and you clearly care. You care the way that anyone in this position should care. It's I wish we could see this kind of passion from everyone, from every journalist.
I mean, that's what they used to do, believe it or not. There was a time when the media actually did stuff like this. They actually wanted truth. They didn't just accept what the establishment gave them. I mean, that stooge on the courthouse steps asking me about $5 million. That's everything that's wrong with the media today. So that they said something in court, the establishment, and then you just blindly repeat it and go with it. And you act and he asked me, he said that, well, I'm not the one who was arrested today. And when I'm like, I missed a chance to roast him here. I should have said to him, yeah, because you're not a threat to them. You don't challenge powerful institutions, so they're not going to arrest you. They like you. You're a good dog. You do as you're told, right? Good dog. And you'll never, be in this position where I am because you don't you're not interesting enough. You're not like, what do? You regurgitate police reports and whatever the DA puts out, you just blindly say it. Okay. Like literally, where is the talent in that? Like you could be replaced by literally anyone.
Right. And a lot of them are. Minnie brings up another good comment. They praised YouTubers for finding Gabby Petito, regular people doing a service by more sets of eyes on things. And yeah, and they can fill in holes where journalists are lacking, or you would think, oh, they overlooked, but it's like, no, these things are being ignored on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's wrong with the public speculating about stuff and talking about stuff? You should want the more eyes on it, the better. Did they try with the Gabby Petito case? Did you ever hear a press release from the police saying, stop looking for Gabby Petito? Stop talking about this case. We have to protect Brian Laundrie at all costs. Just leave him alone. He's innocent. No, because they weren't corrupt.
Yeah, don't we want to respect the dead and find truth and
they always say, well, just wait for trial. It's like, let the system play out. No, dude, the problem is the system. We're watching it play out and it's not working. There's something seriously wrong with the system. Like, the DA's office clearly knows that this woman is innocent, and then they're pursuing it anyway. And we should not have a district attorney's office that does that. That should frighten all of us.
What keeps you motivated to keep pursuing this case? Because I'm sure it's not easy, and the harassment and the intimidation, like, I mean, yeah, you have a great attitude and you don't give a fuck and you're in the right, but if I were in your shoes, like, I feel like it would weigh on me. And so what keeps you motivated to keep going?
Yeah, I guess, I didn't know Karen Reed, before, but like, I just see her as like, that could be any of us. If we allow this to happen to her, then who's next? Like, we can't allow this to happen. Like, John O'Keefe dying too, obviously, like, he deserves justice, and Karen Reed going to jail would not be justice at all. It would be fake justice. The people who actually did this would know, like, they'd be more emboldened. Like, we can get away with anything. We can kill someone and face no consequences for it whatsoever. And on top of that, if people start questioning us about our role in it, then we'll get them arrested too. And that's what's happened here.
And then you become the Clintons. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of scary. They are like almost the Clintons around here. They are they have the power to send anyone they want to jail. It's pretty crazy.
Wow. It is really crazy. Gosh. So what can people do? Like, what are the next steps for Karen? Are there any dates coming up? Are there any?
So Karen's next, her next date is in January, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
And then the trial is scheduled for March. It'll probably be delayed a little more. My next date is December 5th. So if anybody wants to donate, I've posted the fundraiser, the Give Send Go, because I don't use GoFundMe because they're whack. Yeah, Give Send Go. It's on it's on in the blog. It's on Twitter at Dr. Turtleboy. It's on our Facebook page, Turtleboy. So you can, that's what I need right now, honestly, is money. Because like the quotes that I've been getting, they're high. So, I'm trying to raise as much money as possible as I can to fight this effectively.
From everything you've gathered, do you think this was very premeditated, or are you just like, somebody fucked up, some shit went down, and they're messily trying to, keep their hands clean?
Yeah, the latter for sure. There's no way if you're going to kill somebody, you're not going to just invite him to the house and dump him on the lawn. That can't be the plan. It was an accident. A fight broke out and somebody went too far and hit him in the back of the head and he had puke on his boxer shorts. Like, how do you get puke on your boxer shorts unless he's probably started convulsing and everything came out of his mouth and they're just like,
Damn.
Holy shit. What are we going to do? Like,
wait, so his pants were off?
No, but his pants were on. But,
okay.
If it's going to leak, some shit's going to leak down there, and so how do you get puke on your boxer shorts? It doesn't make any sense. If you were just hit by a Lexus outside, that doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. So, and they'll call us conspiracy theorists for saying this. It's like, no, you're a conspiracy theorist if you believe that a Lexus going in reverse can give somebody dog bites. Like that's your like because last I checked, Alexis does not come with razor sharp teeth. It doesn't make any sense.
Unless there's a new model out that we're not familiar with. Got a couple of super chats from Nicholas Rocco. The free turtle billboard will be next. We got you. I hope not. I hope it doesn't come to that.
Save the money for the defense fund. That's all I'm saying. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'll be good. I got enough publicity.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely chip in after tonight. No strays, and it is possible TV is right, but going about it wrong.
Define wrong. I mean, wrong is a subjective term. Like what one person's wrong is another person's right. You might not like my tactics, but I think what we can all agree is that it's not illegal. Like a lot of people wouldn't confront somebody at their kids at a high school lacrosse game. I would. That makes me more brazen, certainly, and more, I can understand how that's controversial, but it's certainly not illegal. And if you're cheering on prosecution of that, then you need to rethink your statism, sir.
So where does journalism end and harassment begin in terms of something like coming up to somebody at a kid's game?
I think if I went up to her at a kid's game and just sat there and is like, just start calling her names, or we're gonna get you, or something like that. And if I wasn't asking, but I didn't do that. I was asking questions. I confront these people and I ask questions about them. And then when she didn't want to answer, I left and I walked out. I was escorted out. And I said, these people are cop killers, guys. Watch out for them. That's all, that's what it's like. Yeah. That's my opinion. That's free speech. You might not like it. It might make you feel uncomfortable. But that's part of being an American. Is sometimes like that's the most American thing you can do. The hardest speech to protect is the uncomfortable speech.
Right. And any politician, anytime they make an appearance or speech, there's people yelling out stuff, and it's just
totally. And it's
how
the territory, right?
That's how high profile this is, and you're allowed to have your opinion, voice your opinion, and it's like these people are walking around free, as free people,
I think that's
with no consequences.
It's like it was in the news that you Googled how long to die in cold, and you're still like, I would be so ashamed and embarrassed to go out in public and be like, oh shit, everyone knows I Googled that. But this woman just walks around like, ain't no thing. Like, it's like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to talk to you in public. But now you can't even do that anymore because the stay away order prevents that from happening. And so, as soon as I get an attorney, that's going to be one of the first things that we try to appeal is the stay away order. There was no basis for it.
You're like, so how long does it take someone to die in the cold? We never found out.
I don't know. It's like I have a lot of questions for her. Like, why'd you delete all your calls from 5 to 9? Why'd you do that? Right. How come you didn't sleep? You didn't go to bed that night. You were just up on. Why is that normal after a night of drinking? I'm just curious. Please don't send me to jail. Just curious.
Yeah, usually you're tired after a night of drinking.
A little bit.
You pass out. Lauren De Laguna, Chrissy is the best. Free Karen Reed and Turtle Boy. Thank you, Lauren. You the
Lauren's
best.
Great.
Lauren is so fun. I love her. Deranged Lunatic, do you think Nick Rakita could help somehow?
Nick messaged me after I went on his show in I think April or May to talk about this, and he reached out when I was arrested, and I forget what he said or if he invited me on. I think I've been so bad at getting back to people, but I'd love to go on Nick's show and talk about this again if he'd have me.
Yeah, I just had him on. I was guest hosting for Anthony Cumia's show, and I had him on, and we were actually talking about the copyright lawsuit stuff with like Eric July and the Rippaverse, like that whole drama and debacle, and so we spent a lot of time talking about that. Saint Ranger, congratulations, Chrissy. Best wishes. Thank you, sir. One more for David Lowe. Every time Chrissy returns to us with a new stream, the world, this is so poetic almost, the world seems a bit brighter. Still jazzed about the news, by the way. You'll be a great mom. Ah, shucks. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chrissy, by the way.
Oh, sorry to make it about me.
No, you should. She's pregnant, guys.
It's not pregnant.
Wish her well. It's pretty cool. You're a whole new person.
I had it's an emotional thing. And yeah, before we went live, you were telling me, you're like, I've had two.
You're gonna love
already.
it.
It's gonna be great. But it's there is something about I already feel like I'm so out there. And it's, of course, you can't like I'm doing stand-up comedy shows. I can't just like lie to people for 6 months. I can't just
Yeah,
like
but you
let
get material out of it. You're gonna get so much
That's true.
material.
And it's like you feel torn between when you put something like this out there, like everybody knows your haters, your fans, your exes, it's like people, and then you feel like people who don't really deserve to know, like now know. And it's like, and I have to not fixate on the negative comments because there's way more positive, but it's just,
Who
there
the
is
hell is negative about a
there's
pregnancy?
an element of it that you do feel like exposed and say everyone knows your fucking business and everyone feels like,
People reproduce. Like I don't. That's wild to me. That I mean, I negative is like, oh my god, you got married and you're pregnant. Oh, that's crazy. Wow, that's so horrible. Who says that?
Yeah, I know, and I'm just being a chick and like focusing on like the negative instead of the overwhelmingly positive because most
Oh yeah,
people
you
are
should.
very
Yeah,
sweet.
don't worry about the negative. I mean, I honestly, I've seen some negative stuff like it. It just it's too tempting. I've reached the point where I just block them. It's like because you know why? It's like not that I'm like a censorship guy, but I can't control myself. I'm way
Yeah,
too tempted to dwell on it and respond. And like I'm responding to like you know like whatever nude guy 48, like why am I talking to this guy? Why am I
I
listening to
know.
him? I don't know who he is. Like why am I wasting a second of my time reading what
It's
he
not worth
says
your
and caring?
quality of life to engage with these folks. Yeah.
Yeah, so that I mean I block for myself because I don't have it in me to ignore, so I have to block.
Yeah.
Highly
That's
recommended.
true. That's the healthiest response. Lindsay Kane, Vinnie Politan tonight. Is it a crime or is it the First Amendment?
Yeah, Vinny
Turtle.
loves. Yeah, Vinny's a Turtle Boy fan. You know, I went on Court TV a couple months ago to talk about this, and he's been talking about Karen Reed for a while. He's fully on board with with us about this, so he gets it. So, and I think a lot of these people get it because I'm all, like I said, I'm happy this happened because it's so unusual. It's going to further highlight, like here I am making allegations that this is a big cover up, and what do? They go improve my point for me. So thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So yeah, of course it makes sense. You definitely need a couple bucks for legal support and legal guidance. But you know what? Like I don't think you should have a problem there because there's so many I've seen so many passionate supporters and followers of this case and people who see through the bullshit and just want the truth.
Well, they're gonna get it. They're gonna and they said it. Like I said on this courthouse steps, it's like they want to shut me up, but I'm never like this isn't gonna work, guys. I'm never gonna shut up. I'm never gonna stop fighting for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed. And your Gestapo tactics don't we're not living in Nazi Germany, even though you're trying to make it seem that way. But we're not. You're not the highest authority. There are other people above you. You guys are the ones under federal investigation right now, not me. So I think I'm good.
Yeah, you're smart. You know what you can and can't do. You know what your rights are. You know what harassment is and isn't. So,
Yeah, I mean, we raised 55 grand in a couple days just on our legal defense
wow.
fund. So people are going to rally behind us and they're offended by this. And so the more they come after me, the more people are going to support it. So like I was in court when I was in shackles being held there the entire time, the 45-minute hearing, all I heard was people laying on their horns outside. And that's how I knew the word was out. And my people were coming down to the courthouse and holding like a trucker rally. Beep, beep the entire time. It was awesome.
What if there was someone there with just like a honk if you're horny sign? Maybe that's what they were honking about.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
I'm horny and I support this case.
I'm horny for justice. I'm horny for justice.
Oh my God, that seems like a law school t-shirt.
Yeah. The t-shirts that are going to come out of this are already insane. Like I cannot.
You have to monetize this. Yeah, you need merch.
We are. We've already sold so many shirts, and we don't even have the mugshot yet. The daddy mugshot shirts are going to be like all-time bestseller. I can't wait.
That's what I'm always worried about. If I ever get arrested, then I'm just not. The lighting is always terrible. Like my makeup is not gonna. Like, can I please touch it up? They probably won't let you. They probably don't give you multiple takes. It's probably just like the DMV, but worse.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm anxious to see it, and I had my glasses on. I go, can I put my
How
contacts in?
embarrassing.
And they go, you glasses will be fine. I'm like, okay, we're doing glasses, whatever.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
I would just jump off a cliff if I had to take a mugshot in my glasses because I'm so nearsighted. I'm like a -8 and 8.5. Like I try to not be seen in them. So I definitely feel your pain there. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
I just can't. You've been through a lot, and did you see this happening when you first started looking into this case?
No, I did not think I would be here. I mean, I write about a lot of just people like we call them ratchets, like, people are selling their food stamps on Facebook or just doing something ridiculous, or there's a fight at the Big E that we write about or something like that.
Right.
I've had to put all that on hold for the last 6 months because this is what I like doing more, like actual real shit that matters. And the following has grown significantly because of that. And yeah, certainly I've made more money because of that, but that's a product of good work. It's like when you work hard and you do a public service that people like and appreciate, you're going to make more money. That's how capitalism works. Why does that offend you? Like, why does that matter?
Right. The YouTubers who covered the Depp and Heard trial, like they were bringing a lot of knowledge to a case and explaining it in a way that the mainstream media wasn't. And they just were asking and answering questions that the average person would have. And they were entertaining about it. And that's why they were so successful, both in views and in dollars. And like, that's kind of a win-win for everyone involved. The public is informed and entertained, and the lawyers get to talk about what they know and make a little money off for their time. So,
the last thing that one of the guys who had one of the victims, he's a very big victim. He's on the board of selectmen in Canton too. And about 2 weeks ago, I went to a meeting. They had a board of selectmen meeting there, and I stood next to him with the sign that said, I don't even know if I want to say this guy's name, but victim number 7 killed a man. I just held that blank, he killed a man because in 2000, I think it was like 1998, he was involved.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. He went to jail for 6 months.
Saying we should say allegedly here and there.
Well, he's convicted. He was convicted, so we don't have to say that anymore. He was involved in a hit and run, and he killed a Hungarian foreign exchange student, and he'd never told people that when he ran for office and he got elected. So I stood next to him with a sign that said he killed a man. And it was all on camera and stuff. And it was just awkward. He just stood there and took it. And I think that's what kind of triggered them. Like, okay, we have to take this guy down. He's out of control. We got to stop him.
Wow.
But he did. It's just a fact.
Dang. This is crazy. Yeah. When do you see this trial? Is there any end?
Oh, this would be like, a year or two,
wow.
But I doubt it. I don't know how it works, but I would think there will be motions to dismiss this, and because it's absurd and ridiculous. And I'm pretty confident the feds are going to indict in the Karen Reed case. And if that happens, then my case would automatically be dropped because the victims or the witnesses would no longer be witnesses in the Karen Reed case. They would be perpetrators.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. One more question or comment from No Strays. Knock on wood, say K Reed goes free, but TB has go to jail. Was all this worth it? I can't see a scenario.
I can't imagine because we're kind of intertwined at this point, because if she is acquitted, then that means that everything I said was true. So like, how can you then the victims are not, the witnesses are not actually witnesses. So everything I would be saying was true, I guess, right? I think that's how it would work. I don't know.
Right. No, you're good. You're doing what the fucking other mainstream journalists should be doing.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for having me on, though. I really appreciate
Oh my gosh, thank you. I was so concerned when I heard the news, and it's
thank you. I appreciate that.
It's like a scary thing, sort of, to be on the outside of. So, thank you for coming on and explaining. And gosh, I guess. Well, so what do you think? No more walks to the bus stop now, or?
Yeah, every day I go out to the bus stop. Like, is there any Silverados out here?
With your phone, you should have a camera strapped to your head.
Yeah, I make sure I have my camera on at all times, in my Facebook, ready to post just in case.
Have like a spotlight attached to your shoulder, and like make sure your contacts are in and you look fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Well, you're doing the Lord's work. Thank you for being so hardcore about finding the truth, and you have balls of steel, and I just really appreciate everything you're doing. And I'm sure everyone involved with the case does as well. So this is just like really interesting. I'm gonna keep checking in on you. This is just very exciting. This is more
All right.
exciting than Johnny Depp Amber Heard, in my
A
opinion.
little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
It involves like, I don't know, real people. Like
There's less pooping on beds, but yeah, in real
Right.
people, right?
This
Yeah.
case does need some shit on a bed. That's all it's
I got
missing.
We'll see what we can do at the end of this. If you
All
eat
right.
if you eat a certain chicken parm, you might do that. I don't know.
So if they can follow you on Twitter at Dr. Turtleboy, where
right.
can people throw you a couple bucks for your legal fund?
Yeah, so if you just go to our, on Twitter, I'll pin my tweet with the link on it on Give Send Go. And
Okay,
so
Give Send Go.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Cool.
perfect. I will throw that link in the description of this episode. Thank you so much, Aidan.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to the chat, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.